Hey there, I wanted to talk to you about something that I know from the Bible. God made us willing to listen and obey. It's like, okay, well, if I know that about me and I claim that about me, I know I'm willing to listen and obey. What am I listening to? Am I listening to the voice of God? Am I listening to the voice of good? If you don't talk in terms of God, think in terms of good. Am I listening to good, or am I listening to the suggestions, the temptations, the negativity, the condemnation, the judgment, all the negative self-talk? I'm willing to listen and obey. So I had a really interesting thing happen this morning. I think it's really good that we create the structure around ourselves that supports us in being who we are called to be. So I have a structure kind of around myself, a schedule that I follow every morning for my daily practice. And part of that, because I go live every day with Morning Metaphys and the community that is This Choice Matters, I am going live at a particular moment every day. So I need to be ready at that moment. So I have little alarms going off all morning long just to kind of keep me on track to make sure I don't get absorbed. Because when I'm praying and I'm reading and I'm studying, I can completely lose track of time and not be on the schedule. So I have little alarms going off. So I had a couple of the alarms go off that would indicate time to go get ready, time to go jump in the shower, time to go get dressed. And I was so into what I was studying and reading and listening to God. And it was just so sort of enriching and fulfilling. It was like, I don't want to do that. And then I thought, I was like starting to pressure myself. No, I've got to follow the schedule. I've got to go take a shower. I've got to go. And then the thought came to me, and remember, I'm willing to listen and obey. The thought came to me, don't take a shower. I was like, wait, what? Don't take a shower. Just stay here and keep listening. So I did that. I thought, okay, I'll deal with that whenever. I'll figure it out. So I stayed and I prayed a little bit longer. And very shortly after that, a couple of ideas came to me about the technology around our meeting every day. And I had changed a password and I had turned an automation off, and different things that I needed to do for the workshop we held yesterday were not turned back on for today for Morning Metaphys. So, I got to change the password. And so I had the time to do that. So I changed the password. It's like, oh, the automation wasn't turned on. Everybody didn't get the link this morning, and it's a different link than it was. So that email needs to go out. And the way that normally would happen would take a little bit longer than I had in the moment. I was listening. I was led to a way to do it, technically speaking, that took me like not even a minute. Took me very little time to get it done. Two emails went out right away. It was more than enough time for people to join the meeting when it was appropriate to come. And I had even like 5 minutes to go and just freshen up a little bit and come back and actually look presentable enough, and not look like a complete, rolled out of bed person. And it all worked out. But if I hadn't listened to that still small voice, I am willing to listen and obey. If I hadn't listened to that voice, I wouldn't have changed the password. I wouldn't have sent the email out. I would have had a whole community of people waiting for the email with the new link, didn't have it. It would have been a big kerfluffle. And none of that happened. All of that was avoided because I listened and I obeyed. I know this is a really simple kind of like, you know, problem that who cares, but it is an example that I look to anyway. You can do whatever you want with it, but I look to this and go, oh, okay, here's proof yet again that if I listen to that still small voice and I obey it in the moment, I am led to more good in my life. Because God is good and God is always present. If I'm not so consumed by my own plan and I'm yielding to the plan of God, yielding to his will, yielding to that still small voice, I'm going to see more good in my life. Because the only place of resistance is that place where I'm coming up against whatever the false ego doesn't want to let go of. I guarantee you, whatever the false ego needs to let go of, if you let it go, you're going to be led to more good because God is good and God is not the false ego. That's like those two things don't go together. Be the reflection of the one ego God, and let God and be the reflection of God, because God is mind and intelligence and life and truth and love, soul and principle and spirit. It's like all the good stuff. That's God. We're the reflection of that. We can't have an experience that's less than unless we're listening to the lie and following the lie and holding ourselves small, because God isn't. God is infinite. God's not holding us small. We're being the expression of God. Well, are we claiming that? You know, I am willing to listen and be obedient to the voice of God. Claim it. It's a really good idea. God made me willing to listen and be obedient, to listen and obey. God made me willing to listen and obey, and I do. So much love to you. We had a wonderful workshop yesterday, the Life Vision workshop that I do. I do every January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, somewhere right in the beginning of the year. And every now and then, like I know last year we got kind of halfway through the year. It's like everyone's saying, can we do it again? It's like, so we did it twice last year. So maybe we'll do it 6 months from now. I don't know. But it was a really good workshop. If you were not able to join and you would like the recording of it, you're absolutely willing. I'm happy to share that with you. Just go to thischoicematterslive.com and just put in your email and it'll send you to the page with the replay on it. So it's like it prompts you to get to that place. So you just like put in your name and email, even if you're already on the list. It's just the process that the system does, so that nobody needs to take the time to send it to you. It's just right there for you. So if you want that, go ahead and take part in that. It's about an hour and a half long. And the breakout rooms are not on the recording, but you'll get a sense of what it is. And there's also a worksheet you can download that just has things that have worked for me. And I will say this, whenever I share kind of processes about things, it's like I'm sharing what's worked for me. You pick and choose what works for you. Like that's between you and God. And I just share it generously because it's worked for me and I want to give. But if it's not something that aligns with you, then just chuck it. Like it's not meant to be, this is something you must follow. It's just like I'm offering it to say, this has really been helpful for me. And so if it's helpful, and it seems to have been helpful, we got a lot of feedback today about, people really enjoying it and getting a lot out of it for themselves. It's very much a self-reflective kind of process that you go through. And a lot of times we don't take the time to do it ourselves. So if we do it as a group, and we do it with the intention of letting God, like where two or more are gathered in my name, there shall I be. That's like letting God come into the space of it and uplift us all. Let the Christ be there. It's like we do it with that intention and with that in thought. So there's a lot of growth and understanding and presence of God and all of that good stuff. So anyway, if you want that, go to thischoicematterslive.com and just plug in your name and email and you'll be given the replay. If you're interested in Morning Metaphys and you haven't tried it, go to getfreesupport.com and that'll sign you up for a week free and you can just check it out and see if you like it. And if you're interested in the Look Up, Look In, Look Out 3-month intensive, which I'm doing starting in February, it'll be February, March, April. If you're interested in that, probably the best place to go would be to go to my website because that's actually everything's on the website, but it's sometimes hard to find for people, but that's right on the homepage up in the upper corner. And if my homepage zooms you to the bottom of the homepage, just scroll to the top. I've got to get that fixed. I'm not sure if it happens for everybody, but if you end up down at the bottom, just scroll to the top and it's up in the upper right corner and you'll get all the information about the Look Up, Look In, Look Out 3-month intensive, the Up and Out Way, which is, again, just a tool that I have found really helpful for me. And it is the 2 great commandments said in a different way. It is look up to God, look into your true self, and then look out from that premise, a platform of, there is this universe is a friendly universe. God is good, only all the time. It's like all the time, and in every space, in every time, in every space, when there is no time and space, God is good. So if we know that's the premise, then what's the way forward to demonstrate that in every area of our life? And that's what we're doing. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. Go to thischoicematters.co and check out the Look Up, Look In, Look Out intensive, which is there. I believe it's also lookuplookinlookout.com. You can go to that. I mean, I'm giving you all sorts of URLs you can go to. Lookuplookinlookout.com will also take you to all the information about that. So that's a direct way to it. All right, lots of love. That's all the news that's fit to print in this moment. Lots of love. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next time.